Hi folks, this is Tony for A Minute to Midnight, and this short update I want to show you something that I think is important, and for people that have followed Greg Mannarino, and I'm sure many of the listeners do, including I did until I found out this information. Greg Mannarino is a Freemason and he is sending coded messages through his videos, and I'm going to prove that to you here. And the message that he is sending at the moment is important, and it's one that you should know what he is sending to fellow Freemasons. And I want to say a big thank you to Jeremy, the ex-32nd degree Freemason, Scottish Rite Freemason, who's helped me with figuring out and decoding this information about Mannarino for this video. I want to begin now to have a look at some of Mannarino's postings and articles, and with Jeremy's help from he emailed me his thoughts. I will begin with one from Mannarino's Steemit page where he says, "The Darkness Agenda, are you us or them?" by Greg Mannarino, and this was posted last year, and this is the one where at the bottom the picture of him in his Freemason garb is to be seen. I won't read the whole article, just pieces of it, but you can find it online if you want to see the whole thing. He says, "Today the ideas of hatred and darkness are being promoted en masse in order for the darkness agenda to succeed, and it is. You are living in the new dark ages, dark because they keep the light hidden. The light brings with it an understanding of the truth. In fact, truth is light." Think about it, wherever a reference to the concept of light or enlightenment is made, it is vehemently attacked. Okay, now, the light that he's talking about is Luciferian light. Let's be perfectly clear here. It's Lucifer that the Masons venerate as the light bearer. Why would the concept of light and enlightenment be attacked? Because these truths would lead people to strive for higher level of being and pursue virtues like goodness, charity, honesty, compassion, morality, responsibility. He's talking about Gnostic enlightenment, Luciferian enlightenment. Jeremy, the ex-32nd degree Freemason, had this to say when he read the article by Mannarino. "Okay, now that charity and virtue is common garbage, they all say over and over, but the darkness he speaks of at the top is the Bible, or the plan of God the Father. If you will, anytime they say evil or darkness or Satan or anything like this, they mean without any doubt whatsoever, God the Father, Jesus Christ and his plan." He says, "Which box have they placed you in, us or them?" You know what he means. Are you part of the Luciferian illuminated or of them, the bottom of humanity, the worshippers of Christ and the Father? That's how high-level Freemasons see Christianity, the bottom of humanity. And I want to show you now, according to Jeremy, that Greg Mannarino is one of the high-ranking Freemasons, not a low-ranking one. We're going to look now at the picture at the bottom of that article, and I will give you Jeremy's rundown on what he sees. "Hi Tony," he says, "hope you're well. This is a Master Mason or Warden chain collar, and it is a small photo and hard to see, but it looks like it is black velvet underneath the chain. If it is, it means he is a past Master Mason of the Lodge, not just a third degree Master Mason, as that's what they call the third degree Porch Masons, but a Master Mason. But if black, he is a former Master Mason of the Lodge. If it were blue or red, he would be a current Master Mason of the Lodge. But at any rate, that is a senior Warden collar chain. And each state is different and colours are different. It's crazy how different some states and nations' rules are. But he is either now or has been the Warden of his Lodge with that design of chain collar. But it is important to remember for sure whether he is or was Warden, you're always important and a sort of speaker for your lodge for important things. That chain style is usually called a Royal Select style, by the way. The apron is unique too. See the aprons one gets when initiated into Freemasons. You never wear again. It is usually leather and white and you're supposed to be buried in it. But we usually wore the cloth ones when we go to meetings in the temple room. Now, with aprons, the one they give you to wear out to events or in the lodge, they are all different and represent you and your degree and responsibility. For example, this one is important as he is clearly an officer of his lodge. See that design on the apron? It is not really able to be seen, but I'll describe it to you and tell you what it means. It is a tower or obelisk, and it is split in the middle, and there is a pendulum hanging between it, a clock. Yes, a clock for when knowledge is coming down and has always been ticking since Eden. But the time is at hand when knowledge will be complete and unveiled to the illumined ones. Anyway, this design, only Masonic senior officers are allowed to wear this style of apron. It is simple, but it is saying I am important and a senior in my lodge. But also the aprons of the State Grand Master Lodge wear a similar apron. But again, it's different from state to state and country to country, so who can say where it is? But for sure he is a senior officer in that lodge and a warden or past warden, I assure you. Later on we figure out where it is. It's Las Vegas, but at this point Jeremy didn't know that. And as for where it is, he is clearly at the podium on or altar in the temple room as I see the gavel to the left. And that thing to the left that represents the world at the tip of that round wooden circle on the tip of that wooden thing, they are usually two of them, the heaven and earth, or Jachin and Boaz columns like at doors of Solomon's temple. The altar, the eye of providence, they mean also. But it all goes back to Solomon's temple. That is about all I can see that I'm familiar with. But that photo behind him is out of place like nothing else. They've put that there to hide something. Maybe Jacob's ladder. Or it is a sign or signal, sign language for the right people to see. Woods would usually mean like a place to go to escape when things fall. Or financially, maybe money falling like leaves. I don't know. I'm picking straws with that photo, but I guarantee you it is not supposed to be where it is. It was in the lodge somewhere, and before the photo was taken, they brought it in to hide either something that is normally there, like Jacob's ladder or the morning star, what one sees when they're born again into Freemasonry, and unblindfolded, this is what they see. That may just be there to hide the painting, but the curtain would do that as usual. That photo is there for some reason, I promise you that. Bear in mind, folks, that up to this point, Jeremy had no idea who Greg Mannarino even is. He hadn't heard of him before, and he hadn't seen my video where I showed a bit of a clip from Greg Mannarino, but he does soon discover that, who he is. But now let's look at another picture. This is a tweet from Greg Mannarino on his Twitter page, and it says, I can promise you, my friend, that Freemasons do not venerate or worship the devil in any way. I should know. I'm a Freemason. Now, Jeremy says in an email to me after seeing that, he says, now, for what he's saying, for the record, I do not know whom this guy is, never heard the name, but he is right when he says Masons do not venerate or worship the devil, because they do not believe in a devil to start with to worship. Haha, so you can say that without lying. But they don't care if they lie or not. They lie constantly. They worship Lucifer, folks, but they don't see Lucifer as being Satan. That's what you need to realise. Okay, now there's more about Mannarino, and we're going to be starting to see now what the coded message he is sending is, that he's sending to fellow Freemasons. Jeremy says this, I hope this helps. I googled this guy and saw that he's a financial guy and with Wall Street, but I assure you that photo, there is something mighty weird about it, and the curtain closed and put over it. Yeah, I believe wholeheartedly it is a sign and put there for people to see and understand something from it. And the first thing in my mind that I think of, I mention it's about time, as in the clock obelisk on his apron, and time as in the woods, to go to your secret places for safety when the darkness comes, and it is about to come. So Jeremy is, in previous interviews I've done with him, he's mentioned the fact that Freemasons all have somewhere to go. They'll be warned when the time is going to come for the chaos and destruction and so on, and they all have a secret place to go to. So that's what is being shown here, according to Jeremy. I may be completely wrong, but if I saw that and was still in Freemasonry, I would have noticed that right off and thought that right away. Or since he is in finances, I saw maybe it has something to do with that. And of course, it could just be to hide an opening in the curtain that I do not see, or to hide something else from the camera. I don't know. But like I said, it is out of place, like you wouldn't believe to someone that knows it's not supposed to be there. You've seen Freemason temple rooms and the paintings above the altar. Now picture that hid by a cheap little copy of a painting like that. It is so not the right place for it. But the main thing is he is a senior officer and has been or is a Warden Master Mason in York or Scottish Rite Freemasonry. He is up there. And by the way, in blue or red lodges, you have to be 3rd degree to be a warden. And in Scottish Rite and or York Rite, you have to be 33rd degree to be a warden usually. There are circumstances that could put someone in charge under that, but only by a degree or two. But that is rare and unusual. Now he starts to click. Here's another email from Jeremy. Tony, sorry, another email, but I just thought about this. The last video that you made had that same guy in it, so he's only just realised that Gregory Mannarino was in a video that I'd just done yesterday. And if you go back and look when he's talking, behind him is a marker board where you write on it with blue or black markers, and behind his head to the right, a stairway to heaven. I never noticed it before, and as I was working online and just listening to it, but it is exactly what he covers up. The Jacob's ladder to heaven when he is in his Masonic regalia, and it is behind him there. You'd better believe that's a warning, and now I know for sure 100%. To the left of his head in your video, go back and look. It's opposite the ladder to heaven, and it says in black, US Economy, Stairway to Heaven, and there is Lucifer or a Freemason to the left directing the US economy with his left hand up in the air. And I all but fell over when I re-watched and saw that. Now combine that with the photo covering Jacob's ladder. It is a sign and a message. Be prepared. Darkness is coming. Go to your place in the woods or the forest. Everything he is saying is a message to Freemasons in that photo and in that message video. And the clock apron, getting ready, time to go. Okay, at this point, Matt from the A Minute to Midnight team emailed me this next picture that you can see here from a Facebook page from the Las Vegas Ancient and Accepted Scottish Rites Facebook page, and you can see Gregory Mannarino commenting on it. Great day. It's a reunion from 2018, and I am picking it's probably Greg Mannarino on the front row to the extreme right, but it's hard to tell in the photo. But there you go. That's the lodge. William H. Beck Memorial Class Valley of Las Vegas Scottish Rite Reunion 2018. Now, I flick this over to Jeremy, and Jeremy sends this back. So Gregory Mannarino is in this lodge, I'm taking it. I knew he was York or Scottish Rite. This adds up perfectly. And by the way, that video you cropped and uploaded from, I didn't notice this till after I just emailed you in that last email. The title of the video by Mannarino was US Economy, Stairway to Heaven or Hell. There is even symbolism in this, as you'd expect. He is saying, plain as day, you either come with us to heaven up the Masonic stairway to light and illumination, or to hell, which they believe in. But he means God the Father, who imprisoned us twice before and tried to wipe us out in the flood and regretted making man and wants them dumb and knowing nothing. That is hell also, and the hell he is defining there as hell. That stairway to heaven is symbolized by Jacob's ladder in Freemasonry. It's quotes over and over and over about everything. I remember hearing that so much I was hearing it in my sleep years ago. So the title of the video clearly is to get the attention of the illuminated, and then the message behind them to really send them the message to those not asleep to the light. And for those in darkness, those not in these religious cults, they are none the wiser. This man is clearly sending a message, and I don't know anything about Nevada or Las Vegas. It is so far from me, but it's, as you'd expect, a very powerful lodge to be in that sinful city. And their hat in that photo, the dark green ones with the yellow stripes and ribbons, it is the 32nd degree Scottish Rite hat. You can Google that, I'm sure, but I know those very well again. And I was given one when I became a 32nd degree. And a 32nd degree title is Knight Commander, Court of Honour and Sublime Prince of the Royal Secret, and the 33rd is Inspector General, and those red hats there are 33rd degree, and I see only one of those. And that white one is 32nd also, but it's a special 32nd degree. I know the green one is 32nd degree period in some estates. I believe it is 32nd and 33rd. But at any rate, they are all 32nd or higher, but the one in white is a special 32nd degree. But the main point again is Mannarino is sending folks that understand the language a message, and it is a serious one for him to be that bold and include such biblical and Freemason occult words, heaven, hell, stairway, Jacob's ladder, in full view of public. Something is coming down for sure. So the message he's sending, Jeremy says, because of the use of the level of pendulum in the picture and so on, like time is short, time to go, time to escape. Maybe this is the entire message, and every little thing has a huge meaning. Folks, I'm not going to go into any detail more about how the god of Freemasonry is Lucifer. We've covered that in other videos. Jeremy has revealed that in videos I've done with him previously as well. And Greg Mannarino is either a 32nd or 33rd degree Freemason. That's obvious, and he is sending a message to other Freemasons, get ready, it's time to go to your secret place in the woods, and so on. And as Jeremy said to me, Freemasons lie, it's just part of what they do, so I wouldn't trust Greg Mannarino now. But the point is, if he's sending that message to his other elite Freemason buddies, then I think it's time to take notice. So just to quickly summarise, folks, this is how I see it. Greg Mannarino has a photo of the woods behind him in his Masonic garb, so Masons will take notice, those that know. He is the man to be looking for to tell you when to go to your hideout. That's part one. Part two, he does his videos, and so that those that are Freemasons that are looking will see his signals as he's giving his videos, and when he gives them the signal, they'll know that's the time. So now he has the stairway, the Jacob's ladder in his latest video, and he's saying either it's time to go now or perhaps time is getting close, and he will be sending the message when to actually go in another video. Or the second and possibly more likely scenario is that he's not talking about running to the literal woods at this point, but that he's using that as an example to Freemasons in the financial world to know when to move to their safe place in the financial realm, and that's the signal that he's sending. Either way, he's signaling that something's about to go down, that he's warning other illuminated Freemasons to go to their fallback position in the financial realm. That's, I think, probably the most likely thing that he's saying. Move to your place of safety in finances now. That's how I see it in a nutshell. And as I mentioned in the previous video, do what you can to prepare anyway, because I think things are looking ominous, and now is the time to be being as best prepared as you can for when things go pear-shaped. Please like this video and share it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And particularly if you know people that follow Greg Mannarino, I think they should know the truth. This is Tony for A Minute to Midnight. We'll catch you again in a few days' time.